Hey, it's Shin here, and I'm here to talk to you about basically Raider Battlegrounds in World of Warcraft. It's right now it's patch 7.2.5. I play pretty much every class in the game at anywhere from 1500 MMR all the way up to 2.5 MMR. And I'm just gonna go about every map and tell you some basic strategies because I notice there's a lot of plebs in WoW that don't know what to do, and I'm here to educate them. So let's start with Warsong Gulch. So basically, each team is going to have 3 healers, and basically the meta right now is always a Vengeance, Demon Hunter, FC. I've seen Guardian work, but Vengeance is the quickest and kite. So basically, Alliance spawns up here, Horde spawns down here. Have 10 players, usually 3 healers, and usually what stays the same is 3 healers, maybe 4 with some annoying comps. But you usually have a rogue and Vengeance Demon Hunter as a tank. So usually the strategy is we're going to have the rogue go take, both rogues are probably going to take the Berserker Hut on each side, and then have 2 heals and the rest of the DPS in mid just team fighting and such, while the FC goes and get the flag with either 1 DPS or a healer, depending on what they have sitting back. If they have a full team fight, it's pretty easy for the tank get the FC, so you can take that here, and then hopefully the rogue, your rogue and their rogue are probably both going to be sitting on the FC. So they have a team fight going on mid, but the objective of the game really is just obviously kill the FC. So as stacks are setting up, because you get a stacking debuff that causes the FC to take more and more damage in the FC maps, Warsong Gulch and Twin Peaks. So once you get to 6 stacks, the Vengeance Demon Hunter can't run, and he can't trample through the map. Trample is the ability. This allows the Demon Hunter to knock anyone down that he runs through, and also makes him move incredibly fast, faster than a mount, which is really annoying, and I think they should nerf it, but still haven't. So basically, we'll have both tanks in the FC probably going third level on the map with 2 healers, and then they'll have 1 offensive healer with DPS on O. And usually you want to send a healer on offense because they'll have 1 DPS on D. So that's pretty much what goes on, and both teams usually do the same thing. You can go hard, heavy offense with two healers on D with the Vengeance DH and the whole team just tunneling the FC, which works. But sometimes if they send 3 DPS on D, you completely wipe, and then you'll have literally no one on defense to do anything until they res, obviously. So that's usually what happens. Everyone pushes in, and then usually you wait until the FC trinkets and the rogue smoke bomb. You try for get a kill, and then you get the cap, obviously. And then the kiting strategies usually are, for Alliance side, it's really easy for the Vengeance Demon Hunter to jump up to the 2nd floor and then jump to the roof. And then also FCs can kite up to the graveyard with the healers if there's too much pressure, and then just kite around back up to the tunnel to 3rd floor again, obviously. So that's basically the strat. You want to have the strat basically is 2 healers on defense and a DPS on D with FC, and you basically just want to set up kills faster. They set up kills on your FC and kite better. And then of course if you wipe, you can go to graveyard to wipe them, and then it's gonna be really high stacks, and then you gotta kill next push, otherwise they will probably kill you next push. So that's basically the Warsong Gulch. Then for Eye of the Storm, Horde spawns up top with this map is definitely backwards right now, actually. So let me see if I can fix that real quick. Okay, well, doesn't really matter what side, but so down here will be the Horde spawns at the bottom and the Alliance spawns at the top. And it's actually really crucial for your teams to cap BET, and FR before they cap Mage Tower and Draenei Ruins, because that will require them to get 2 caps to your 1 if you get 1 at the beginning, if you get that 1 point advantage, because you'll just be ahead. So just make sure you cap the base first. Usually you have a rogue and then a pet class or a rep pally sit the other base. So a rogue will sit and a rep pally or pet class will sit the other one. And make sure when you're sitting, you always stand 40 yards away from them, away from the flag, because that makes it so even if you're a rogue and you get sapped 40 yards away, you don't have to trinket, because you can literally just sit the sap and then just re-stealth, sprint over, and sap them before they get the cap. It's that simple, because too many people stand next to the flag, so the rogue has the saps you instantly, and then you have to trinket, you blind, you lose the base instantly. So make sure you stand far away. And then that's pretty much the map. You're gonna go mid, fight for the flag. Make sure you spin the flag the whole game. And then if usually you have a Havoc Demon Hunter that peels out to any of the bases that need help, just in case they go for ninjas. You can ghosts. Make sure you're watching the enemy team. The rogue wants to go from FR to Mage Tower. Ghost. Make sure the Vengeance Demon Hunter, not the Vengeance, but the Havoc's Demon Hunter's job to watch and make sure that they don't have anyone coming to the ghosted base, obviously. So the Havoc DH will peel out with anyone else who tries to get to the base. So that's their job. And then basically win mid, get the flag, cap over and over. First cap is 75, and then I think it increases with every other base you have. So if you can win mid, this is the easy game, because then you can just sit DPS out every time they peel someone and go for a ninja and just spin bases and win. Or you could go for a ninja. Once you get the third base is more important than mid. You can let them get a few caps in a row, but you do want to send a healer and a melee DPS most likely to spin mid, so you don't lose it. And then you can just spin mid with the 3 bases, you win the map. Twin Peaks, essentially same thing as Warsun Gulch, but this time Alliance have a much easier job kiting because of the whole broken ramp. The broken ramp is really easy to kite. So the FC can literally just go to the edge here, right here on the broken ramp, and have a priest knock on them, and have the DPS go flying, and you're able to kite back into your room. No problem. You do the whole 2 DPS, 2 healers and a tank on D with a DPS or 2, depending on what they have, and then you guys DPS race to see who kills the FC first. Now obviously you can send DPS back and do a full turtle to 6 stacks. And then at the end of the game, I say 4 minutes. If you're ahead of cap, you should just do a 10-man D in turtle, because it's really easy. And then maybe if you think you guys can get killed, they send 2 heals, offense, because they know they have to get that kill. You just send a rogue and a boomkin, a rogue and a hunter, and they can easily just CC kill the FC without a problem if there's 1 healer, especially after 6x. Okay, we'll go Silver Shard Mines. So, Horde, if you're a Horde, you should never ever lose the middle cart. You should never ever lose the mid cart, the water cart. So you should send 2 or 3 DPS there at the start, depending on what they do. If you want to 4 heal this map, you would send a rogue, a Havoc Demon Hunter, and a healer off carts, and they will be off carts the whole game. I honestly would never 10-man. If you're 10-manning as 4 healing, you're doing it wrong, because having the off carts with the 4 heal is extremely OP on this map. And then ally will go top usually. And one of my favorite strats for this is to 9-man or 8-man mid, the mid cart, whether what side you're on, and just trying to win the team fight. But then you have the rogue go over to the lava cart switch and swap lava to top. That way they don't get the free cart lava and you're 8-manning mid. So if you kill 1 person, 2 people there, you get the cart, and then they don't get the free lava cart. And then also then you could Zerg top, or even send a few to lava top and be able to get that. And then basically the game is just playing off cards, make sure you're winning off cards and matching numbers when you have the cart, and obviously not dying. This is a huge team fight map. DK should be slowing. You should be cloning people out of carts, knocking people out of carts, rooting people over and over. And if DKs, you have a lock gate. If you do have a lock, locks aren't that often in this meta, but you should have gates going between mid lava or even mid the top or lava top, either one. But just make sure you have a lock gate and make sure you use it. And then to counter the strat where the rogue swaps lava at the top, just make sure you have a DPS or two there to stop him from doing that, because once he goes past the track, it won't go. You can also swap later in the game. You can swap the track up here, make the top go to lava top again, and etc. etc. Just make sure you have numbers, win off carts, you win the game. Temple's a very, if you're in a YOLO group doing YOLO RPGs and you have no communication, it's very tough, because once you get split in this map, it's really tough. So Horde, where I'm putting the red dot right here, red cube, this is where Horde spawns near green. They spawn, Horde Alliance spawns up, the graveyards I should say. The graveyards right here, and the Alliance graveyards right here, and then the Horde graveyard is over here. So you can determine where you want to regroup once you get wiped, because if you can't regroup, you're gonna lose. And you always want to have at least 2 orbs. Havoc Demon Hunters, Rep Pallies, and Rogues are really good for picking up orbs, because I think Rogues, they can take Shadowy Duel, and actually if they're about to die, they can just drop the orb, Shadowy Duel, vanish, and then not die, because every time you get a kill in this map, you lose 10 points. Obviously, if you're outside the map, like outside of the whole map, like where you spawn, you're gonna get less points. You'll get more points if you're in the very center, and a little less points on the outside. I'd say almost never go to the middle unless your whole team's there, or you're just kiting through the middle and you really need to heal or you're about to die. And if you're just completely wiping them, the team's completely garbage, you can just go mid and have it take all 4 orbs and just continually using the damage boost from the orbs to kill. So every time you pick up an orb, the orb stacks continually. The more longer they have it, they'll take less healing, but they'll deal more damage, and they'll also get a little bigger. So it's kind of obviously which orbs you just kill first. And when you're killing, you should always, in a team fight, if you can focus an orb, focus an orb. If a healer picks up an orb, that should be the first orb you're off killing as well. So let's go to Deepen Gorge. So Deepen Gorge, this map pretty much has been dominated by teams who have 2 Vengeance Demon Hunters. So what they do is they have 2 Vengeance Demon Hunters. One will pick up the cart while the other one is off spinning something, trying to ninja something, because they have a 5-second fear on a pretty short cooldown, and it's physical, so they can't dispel it. So it's really strong. They have a silence. They have crazy mobility with trample. So the strat that I've been doing on this map is 4-2-4. So you send 4 to Pandaren Mine, which is the bottom mine, 4 to the mid, alright, 4 to the top is the Pandaren, and then 4 to the bottom, that's the Goblin, and 2 to the mid. So you send a healer and a melee DPS preferably to spin mid, and someone who can peel for the healer, because if they do heavy, you don't want to just die instantly. So 4 down to the Goblin Mine, 1 Vengeance DH, and a Rogue, preferably as well, and any subtlety, so he should be able to Shadow Step Smoke Bomb as he's quick capping, and then be able to CC anyone that gets it, so you try and get a quick cap there. But they probably have a Vengeance doing the same thing, so it's not going to happen, but it's possible. And then you have the other Vengeance go top with a healer and 2 DPS, same as bottom, and try and quick cap. And then pretty much you're just spinning. And I wouldn't recommend anyone to go for the cart until the opposing team has 200 points. Because when you pick up a cart, it takes away points. And then when you cap the cart, you get 200. So that's also where it comes to the play. If you want to kill a cart, you never want to give up base in this game. Bases are huge, but carts are huge as well. You kill one cart, you can be changed the game by 400 points. So that's a huge sway in point difference with 1 cart kill. But you want to spin top, mid, and bottom with what you have. And then what's nice about where you're at this map, you can easily, let's say you see 7 of them going mid, you can send all 3 heals mid and be able to just crush them top and bottom with the 2 DPS and the FC, and be able to keep all 3 bases. And usually what happens is one team gets 1 base and the other team gets another base, usually top and bottom, and then you spin mid for the whole game. No one ever gets it. Sometimes you can get it, which is good. 2 bases, the 1 is really easy because then you just run a cart and you just chain run it with the Vengeance. So as soon as the Vengeance is about 75% to the cap, the other Vengeance tramples, goes and picks up the next cart, and they continuously run. And both teams are probably going to be doing that. So if you have a DK, a Rogue, or even a Mage and a Boomy, one of them or 2 of them should go constantly be slowing the cart, because if it goes to the point where each team has 1 base, it's whoever's going to run the carts faster who's going to win. So you want to make sure you're slowing, making sure those healers already on our FC ready to peel, because if they do get the last resort proc from Vengeance DHs, it's very easy to kill. And that's basically the map. Just want to cap bases and run carts faster than the enemy team and slow them down. So then we have Arathi Basin, which is the high MMR teams lose this game all the time because they get cocky and they lose a base. And it's very hard to win team fights in this map because 25-second res timer, body resing, and they res really, really close. So for some reason this map does not have labels, so I'll make some labels as I'm talking. So let's see where this is. So let's make this, do LM real quick. BS, M, farm, ST. So you wanna, same as Deep and Gorge, you don't want to give up any bases, and you should be able to not lose any bases pretty easily if you send people to each base, obviously. So here's all the nodes. So usually they don't run Vengeance Demon Hunters on this map, but you can, and try and quick BS because it's very easy, especially if the enemy team doesn't have water walking or they're miscommunicating at the start and they don't go to the right base. So what usually we have here, we have a pet class, sit, farm, usually the lock if you have a lock, because locks aren't, they're not amazing at killing things quickly unless they're Destra, then maybe you want a 17 team fight, but you want to have the Rogue, a Demon Hunter, and preferably a Mistweaver Monk go to GM. There's a part on GM on top of the house that you can put your port, and if there's only 2 DPS on the Monk, they will never die because every time they're bursting, they just port up there and they heal themselves to full. And it's really easy to just never die against 2 DPS as it is, as a healer. So as long as they're juking, using their port, and then the DPS are peeling for them. So basically, it's whoever kills the healer first down there will get the base. And then, so you're having one person sit farm. You're going to send a healer and a DPS to Blacksmith. And then they're probably going to do the same and just spin it. You're going to have a healer and then, or have a Demon Hunter there, and then you're going to have DPS going down to going up to LM to spin. And you do not want to lose a base early in Arathi Basin. You should never just give them a free base, in my opinion, because whoever gets 3 bases, and even in higher MMR games, whoever gets 2 bases quicker will win the game because they will literally spin that 3rd base for the rest of the game. And it's very hard to come back in Arathi Basin once you're down points because of how the point system works with 3 bases and 2. You get 3 points for every 2, and then if you have half the game that way, they can win like 1,000 points to 600, and there's no way for you to come back. But if you do end up losing 3 bases, what I suggest is ninjing. But if they end up not allowing you the ninja, sitting 2, 3, 4 to a base or between 2 bases, it's just horrible and you actually have to force a team fight, and what you're going to do is you're going to send the rogue and maybe a DK, another DPS that has good CC and slowing, and let's say you have farm and BS. What you're going to do is you're going to hit GM, and you're going to have the DPS, the slower DPS, sit accordingly between LM and GM and slow any people who are trying to get to them. So if they're sitting a healer, you slow the healer down and you completely demolish them at GM, loot bodies, and kill. And you can do this from farm to ST, just even LM to BS if they don't have anything that can flow down instantly. You just have to slow them from coming, especially because a lot of teams will sit healers at bases with other people, and you just rush a really hard team fight, and you just put them in the graveyard over and over again, and you have to kill everyone before the 25-second res is up, and you just completely demolish them over and over, have healers cap, and you should be able to get it. And that's pretty much my strats for Rated Battlegrounds and Legion. And I'll tell you basically the team comp that most teams and I have been running. I've obviously played at high MMR and low MMRs and whatever. So we usually have 2 Holy Priests or 2 Mistweavers, and then we'll have 2 Holy Priests and a Mistweaver, or 2 Mistweavers and a Holy Priest healing. We'll have 2 Demon Hunters, 2 Hunters, and both Demon Hunters need to have the Vengeance spec to do the Deepwind Gorge strat, because if you don't have 2 Demon Hunters and the enemy team does, and they both run Vengeance, they're going to demolish you on the map most likely, unless they're just horrible. So you have 2 Rogues, 2 Demon Hunters, 2 Hunters, and then I like to run with a Boomy who has an off spec of Resto. So you can do Resto Druid, Havoc Demon Hunter, Rogue off carts on Silver Shard Mines, and you can do that on, if you want to 4-heal on any map, pretty much. The only map I wouldn't really want to 4-heal on is probably Temple of Katmogu, because you're down an extra DPS, and that's 1 extra DPS that's not going to be able to pick up orbs. You still can do it if you like, if you feel confident in your kiting skills and such. And I think what stays consistent is basically every team is going to have 3 heals, every team is going to have at least 1 Vengeance DH that have Havoc off specs, and then a Rogue. That's pretty much what stays consistent in every team. But I know a lot of people like to 4-heal, like especially Balamos. Pretty much every time I go against him, he's always 4-healing. And that's pretty much it for RBGs. I can go in other videos, go over ninja capping, and also I can show clips of actual execution of ninja caps, slowing 4-cart, 4-healing off carts on Silver Shard and all that stuff if you guys would like. And that's about it, but I'm Shane, and that's it for my RBG guide pretty much. You can see my Twitch in the description. Give me a subscribe on YouTube, and thanks for watching. My Twitch is twitch.tv/ShaneTheBaseGod. And see you guys. Have good games.